Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna start the stream soon. I just gotta double check that I'm live. And it looks like we're live. Getting 4,000 KB per second. Alright. Let's go. So hello everyone. This is my second live stream. It's been a long time. The last time I streamed was last year. So what I want to show you guys is a project I've been working on. Give me a second here. This project is built off of Sabre, right? So my last stream I was working directly in Sabre, focusing on the marketplace for Sabre, the theme marketplace for Sabre. But now I'm working on a vendor plugin that I built for Sabre. And this plugin, it's more like a set of plugins for a web application I'm building called Collector. So if I press escape, you can see that I'm in Sabre right now. And I'm using two HTML components that I built for my Collector vendor plugin. And these two HTML components, the first one just shows a list of domains here. And the second one allows me to view details about a domain. And the reason why I created a separate HTML component for the domain details is so I can view domain details on other parts of the website or other parts of the web application. So let me just tell you in a nutshell what Collector is. It's a website, more specifically a web application that allows me to scrape content from any domain on the web. And so you can see here I have whitelisted domains here, and then I have a bunch of unknown domains. And for example, Scientific American, I think, or let's go to New Scientist. New Scientist, I have 2,189 articles. So if I go to my article search here, this is another part of the web application. I can search for which one was it? New Scientist. All right, let's go to New Scientist and click search, and there we go. So here's a list of the newest articles that I've scraped from the New Scientist website, right? So look at this, Doctor Who, Worlds of Wonder Review. Let's check that out. So I'm gonna open this in a new tab. I'm gonna disable my line breaks. And then, there you go. Here's an article about Doctor Who. And so it looks like this is like the beginning of an article, but it's not the full article. So I can go back to my search here and right click on the URL and view the actual web page, see what's going on here. So I have to subscribe to continue, right? So that's something I need to develop inside of Collector, is being able to log into subscriptions so that I can actually download the content using an account, right? So I'll eventually get to that point, but I'm not there yet. So let's look for a different website here. How about Discover Magazine? All right. So why some people seek romance in virtual relationships. Let's check that out. And all right, so 0 free articles left. All right, whatever. Let's find another one. So, Quanta Magazine. Here we go. Quantum advantage in post-selected metrology. Whatever that means. Let's check that out. Alright, so this is just a description of an actual article. So I'm gonna find something else. Here we go. Let's try Wired. I mean, that's a popular one, right? See, we have article metrics. Latest search. Okay, here we go. Global multi-model projections of local urban climates. Let's check that out. All right, so ooh. So this is like a really complicated article here. Let's see what that looks like. Yes, this is a scientific journal article. And I have to subscribe to look at it, so I can't even look at that. In fact, this is on the nature domain, so I need to be able to search by domain too. Ooh. Hold on. I need to mute my phone. Sorry about that. All right. Let's see if we can find something that is on the Wired. Here we go. Welcome to the Great Reinfection. Sure, let's check that out. All right, so it's not loading the photograph, but it shows that there's a Getty image here. It's definitely extracting a lot of content here. Right, so this is cool. And you can tell that I'm in the alpha stages of developing this technology. Like it definitely extracts the content, but yeah, see, there's no photo, and there's all this other content that it extracted that it shouldn't have. Right, let's look at it again. Like this stuff here, or that. I don't want that. Don't want that either. Maybe not that. You know, that's a description of the article writer. But it looks like I extracted all the paragraphs. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 paragraphs, right? There's 18 paragraphs here. So it extracted all the content. It just, there's some things that I don't want to extract. So that's actually what I'm working on right now, is something called the domain level article analyzer rules. So if I go to my domains and I go to Wired, I have this tab here called Analyzer Rules, and it doesn't do anything right now. But if I go to my domain.js, I have a details section here, so I can show my details, which shows this pop-up modal. And then I have a rules section where I can show the rules tab. So that works, right? When I click on the tab, it shows it. It actually makes a Ajax post to get the analyzer rules list. And at this moment, It's what is this music? Let's just skip this. Hold on. No. You know what? There's specific. Yeah, Matthew. Yeah, this is the kind of music I love. This Matthew guy stuff. I'm just gonna listen to that this round. He makes some pretty cool. This is all CC, CC0 ambient music, meaning it's completely copyright free. So anyway, so this little button here, the new rule, that's part of my Ajax response. So if I go into my views here and analyze rules, go into my rules.html here, you'll see the new rule button, and then my rules mustache code that gets populated by this list item.html. So I'll show info about the rule, which is basically just like the selector, and other things. It's complicated. Article rules are complicated. Why? Because well, yeah, I have a selector here. The rule will either include or exclude that HTML element based on the selector, and the selector can include things like the class name or attributes with attribute values. So whatever selector I find on the web page, it will show or hide in the article. Right? So I can specify for this domain, wired, to hide this list here if it exists in the article. And I can also hide that too. Oh, excuse me. No, collector already hides a bunch of content based on a generic list of information, and I built that. Where is it? I think it's under my models here. Yeah. Article rules. Yeah, so here's my article rules model, and it has a bunch of different variables that is used for analyzing an article. Like, for example, I won't extract any URLs that have any item in this array found within the URL itself. So it just does a search. If any of these strings show up, then it skips the URL. Same with the page titles. Skips the page. It doesn't analyze the page. It can identify header tags. It finds bad header words. It'll skip specific tags like the HTML tag, the body tag, meta tag, title tag, link, script, and style. It'll find bad tags that'll just completely skip altogether. That should not be included in the article, right? And then bad classes. Here's a list of classes that'll flag the element as a bad element. Most of them are UI related. There's a lot of other things here that help me analyze the article. But then I have analyzer rules, which is a table in the database, and I'm going to be able to add analyzer rules here by creating, a new rule. What's the word? Just specifying the selector and whether or not to include or exclude any element that HTML element that matches this selector. That's about it. And then of course it's matched on whatever domain the article lives on. So for example, Wired magazine. Wired is going to have its own user interface for the domain. And so I'm going to add analyzer rules that will hide and show content for that domain. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on right now. I might not do actual work at this point. Like, I'm just showing you what Collector is, and I just set up my streaming setup again. So this is kind of like a test run to see how the stream performs, how well the audio sounds, how well my video looks. But yeah, there's a lot of code here. This domains list here, for example, I could show you that. So under my collector plugin, under my vendors folder for Sabre, you can see I have my HTML components folder here, and then I have my domains folder under that, and then I have my domains C# or class. This is actually an HTML component made for Sabre, and there's a key for my HTML component. So if I press escape here, you'll see a mustache variable for collector-domains, and that is specified here under the key for my HTML component model. I have an icon, a description, and you can see that here, collector domains, it uses this icon, this title and description, right? So that's all defined here. And then my render function will be executed on the page load here. So what do? I load the HTML component, HTML file, which is, what is that? It's probably nothing. Yeah, all it is a mustache variable that loads content. But if I need to, I can add HTML here for the header or for the footer of that HTML component. Then I load my list item for domains, and then I render an accordion, giving it a title, a class name, and then I render my list of domains, right? So here you can see my domains accordion, right? I can hide it, show it. And then I have a render list function for my common class, for my domains common class. So if we go here into my my domains class here, you'll see I have a render list. Oh, excuse me. I get my list from my data access layer, right? And that executes a store procedure, get list, which, if I look under SQL here, and schema, and store procedures, and domains, I have my domains get list here. So it's searching. It splits my search into an array based off of a comma delimited list, and you can see I can search here if I want to. So I can type in Wired, and there it is. I have a bunch of Wired websites, whatever. And subjects is a comma delimited list of subject IDs, and I can choose like companies, And under companies, I can choose. Come on. It's supposed to show something else. It's not doing it. Oh, companies, people. Oh, see, that's broken because when it shows companies, it should update this drop down to show like Nintendo and Microsoft, but it doesn't, so that's broken. But anyway, I can choose a specific hierarchy of subjects to show. But in this case, sorry, if I wanted to, I could actually specify a list of subjects, which in this form, it's only going to select one subject ID, and that's based on the last subject in the hierarchy. Anyway, so yeah, we're just searching for domains and checking to see if they're whitelisted or blacklisted, and then displaying them as a HTML component in Sabre. Complicated. So everything I work on for Collector is a Sabre plugin, or is part of a Sabre plugin, right? They're different. They take the Sabre plugin for Collector takes advantage of different systems within Sabre, like the HTML components or a web API service. I think I do have services here. So like for domains, I can search my domains, and the service is just a web API, right? It runs off of /API/collector domains/search, right? As an example. And then I specify my own SQL schema here, which this actually is something that comes with every Sabre vendor plugin. And this gulp file that lets you, it generates the install SQL. The install SQL will generate a bunch of tables, sequences, stored procedures, blah blah blah, and then I have an uninstall.sql, which I have to create myself by hand. And then migration scripts, I forget how to do that, but there's a way to... Oh, migration scripts are actually, you have to handwrite them yourself. So, but they work, right? If I create a migration script based on the documentation for Sabre, let me just... What's going on here? Yeah, so if I go to my Sabre website here, go to developers, and then I think it's under query here. Yeah, then SQL. No, not under SQL. It's under migration scripts. Yeah, see, there's a migrate dash and then the version number. And you have to set your version number in the assembly. How do we do versioning? The assembly version. Right, so the assembly version would be found under... It's not showing it, but there's a solution file here that I should be able to open and edit. Maybe I didn't create a solution yet for Collector, but other vendors have a solution file, and you specify your assembly version there, and then yeah, you can create migration scripts based each version that you want to release to the public. So Sabre is very robust. There's a lot of features if you want to build a plugin for Sabre, which, as you can tell, like, I've already done a lot as far as collector goes inside of Sabre. I mean, look at all these. I have so many HTML components for collector that my plugin pop-up menu needs to I need to develop a scroll bar for my plugin's pop-up modal or pop-up menu, because I've never had to deal with this issue before. So anyway, yeah, see, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 8, maybe even 9 HTML components for collector. It's a lot. Okay, I have 11 HTML components. And guess what? The analyzer is one of them. And what is even cooler is my download. Let me show you. So I have a download page here, and I can start downloading articles based on a list of feeds I have, right? Most of my feeds are science feeds, but these are basically just like the home page of different websites. And then my download system here will check all feeds for new links, and then it'll proceed to start downloading articles based on the links that are queued for download, right? And since I started downloading about I don't know, like 20 minutes ago, I've downloaded 81 articles. Hold on, let me restart this. So we're checking 5 feeds here. And once it's done, it'll find a bunch of articles. It'll find new links from the feeds and from the articles. And it'll show me how many words I found total from all the articles that I found. So we're downloading from NASA right now. All right, so let's check our where is it? Our latest articles from NASA. There's NASA right there. And let's do newest. So yeah, we downloaded this probably a few seconds ago. Superfast precipitation of energetic electrons in the radiation helio of radiation belts of the Earth. Let's check that out. So we have an analyzed article here, and yeah, so there's a lot of stuff I don't really care about, like this stuff here and this stuff here, but all these paragraphs I really like. Ooh, we got some math stuff here, complicated math. It's a lot of, look at this. I want to know what this looks like on the actual web page. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Contributions. So this is like a scientific journal article. And like, I don't want that. I want to be able to remove that. So if we go back and look at the actual web page, yeah, this is basically a science journal article. And it has photos. I didn't get to see any photos. Where are the photos? So it's excluding the photos. And the titles, let me see here. It's not, well, it shows observations, but where is abstract? We have observations there. but no results. So there are some things that aren't being loaded, and so I'll have to tweak multiple things to make this work. This is what I want to see. See these things here? I want to be able to have collector read these and then output them correctly. So it looks like this here, instead of just a bunch of gobbledygook. So there's a lot of work to be done. And the more websites I, interpret and analyze and support in Collector, the more types of content I can analyze and collect and extract from the internet to keep forever, basically. Like you never know, this web page might not exist tomorrow, so I want to keep it. I literally want to have billions upon billions of petabytes of website content. I just want the whole internet at my fingertips, and I want to be able to search anything I want from across the internet, and get that content without having like a bunch of content that I don't want. So if I go to my domains page here, what I need to develop next is my analyzer rules on a per domain basis, right? So that I can hide stuff I don't want to be displayed in the article, and show things that I want to show that aren't being displayed, like this photo here. So I need to create analyzer rules on a per domain basis, and I need to tweak the default article rules here so that I'm not accidentally hiding important content from the article, like those images. To be fair though, those images might be like a base 64 embedded image, which I don't support right now. Nope, it's just a PNG file. Don't know why it's not loading it. It might be because it's inside of a picture with a source type, but still, the HTML should, Charlotte, you don't know about Charlotte yet, but Charlotte is my third-party app here. It's not third-party, I built it, but Charlotte allows me to extract content from web pages, right? So it uses an off-screen Chromium web browser using CEF# as a NuGet package, and it waits for a web page to download. So if the page is using something like Angular or React to make AJAX calls to get the content for the page, Charlotte waits for all that to execute, waits for the page to load. Once the page is loaded, all the HTML and all the JavaScript is executed and complete, then Charlotte will build a JSON object based on the HTML structure, and it only extracts certain HTML attributes and certain style properties that is relevant to Collector being able to analyze a web page properly. For example, Charlotte will extract the computed style for every HTML element that uses a font size, right? And the beauty is this JSON object stores all of the property values and attribute values at the head of the JSON object, and then all of the HTML elements are what's the word? Represented by like one letter characters, and all the properties, style properties and attributes for those HTML elements are represented by index numbers that reference, you know, the dictionaries at the head of the JSON object. So it's a really compact version of the web page, so I can store it on my hard drive and basically store every copy of every web page that I want to analyze on disk. And so whenever I go to an actual article, like this article, what it's doing is it's analyzing that JSON object on the fly based on the latest rules of my analyzer, right? And that's based off of what I put up here in my this C# class, and what I have in the database for my domain-specific analyzer rules, and also based on how the analyzer logic works. So whenever I want to go and read a web page, it'll analyze it on the fly based on the content that I downloaded when I downloaded it using the downloader here, which is scraping the internet. Actually, the scraper is only scraping whitelisted domains. Which I need to re-engineer this list to be like a grid of domains with paging, because I'm going to have thousands and millions of whitelisted domains eventually. And the idea here with collector is that I want to personally curate each domain. Find a domain. If I have to, sign up and pay for a subscription, and then add article analyzer rules to help me extract the content for each article efficiently and thoroughly, and to download everything from that article, including the downloads. You see here how I have, like, it says 200 downloads. That means that it found like PDFs or zip files or, you know, documents that are considered downloads, found on the web page. But yeah, I want to be able to download everything from those pages and then effectively steal. Well, it's not stealing if I'm not publishing it to the public. So I'm just, like, for example, I have a web browser. My web browser steals content from the internet. How? Well, the content's made public and the web browser downloads it to keep on your local hard drive and to display to you. So is it stealing? No. So is this considered stealing? No, because it's like a web browser. The only difference is it's an intelligent web browser. It's browsing the web on its own and extracting content from the web to display in a specific manner to me. See, look at this. This is easy to read content. Let me show you a really cool article. It's a Doom. It's like my favorite article. It's just, where's my Doom article? There it is. Doom 2016. A graphic study. Check this out. Look at that. It has a thumbnail on the side with like an intro right next to it. Isn't that clean? How a frame is rendered. It shows all the pictures. It shows all the headers, links to, to third-party websites. Which, if I click on this link, it just takes me to another page that's going to render the article. Hopefully. Oh, that's a Wikipedia page? That's blacklisted. How about this? Mega textures. Let's see if it'll analyze that. Oh, that's a PDF? Never mind. Anyway, so it shows all of these images, and it even detects image titles, right? A little description, and centers it underneath the image. Isn't that nice? Look at this. It recognizes that this image is small, so it puts it off to the left. And these images are large, so they're considered like screenshots or something. A gallery image. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check to see if there are a list of images. And this is all done on the client side, by the way, in JavaScript. It just detects the width and height of the image element and determines what class to provide it, if it's a small image or large image. So then I'm going to see if I can find content where I have multiple large images in a group, and then I'll shrink them, turn it into a gallery, and make them clickable. So if you click on one, it'll pop up like a full-size image, so that I don't have to scroll through all of this. Yeah, it even has unordered lists, tons of beautiful photos. Look at that. I even have two small images with a little image description side by side with a few paragraphs here. Isn't that clean? And of course it's responsive. So if I do that, see how clean that is? Yeah, super clean. This arrow should be centered, but since it's detected as a small image, it's pushed to the left. Only large images are centered. Isn't that nice? It's a lot of content. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm basically just trying to build my own Google, basically, but way better, right? In a walled garden where it's not controlled by some communist regime that doesn't really show you any actual search results. Like, you know how difficult it is to find content on Google? It's bullshit. Like, it's mostly just fluff. You have to dig for 100 pages, but they only give you like 3 or 4 pages. They say, oh, 20 million results, and then they only give you like 5 pages. Watch. It's bullshit. Google.com. Oh look, it's July 4th. How about July 4th? Look at that, watch. Okay, top stories, blah, 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 blah. Look, we got 10 pages. Okay, let's keep going. How many results? 3.6 billion results. All right, let's go to page 14. Page 18. Let's see how far can we go. How far? Oh, page 19. Page 23. Maybe it will let you go on forever. But do I want to? Anyway, it's just annoying. So, if you haven't checked it out yet, go to datasilk.io. This is my company website where you can view a showcase of all the software I work on. For the most part, if you go to like, wow, I don't have a link for my GitHub website here. That sucks. Well, if you go to github.com/datasilk, you'll find all of my public repositories. There are some private ones, but yeah, and I'm not logged in, so you can't see the private ones. But yeah, there's a lot of projects here. Look at all these projects, and I work on a lot of them. Some of them are just ideas I never finished. I never started, but yeah, a lot of these I've worked on in the past year and put down. Like you can see I've done a lot of work lately on Can Do, Saber, Charlotte, Collector, Tapestry, which is my CSS less UI framework, Core.js, which I use on all of my web applications that runs off of my DataSilk MVC framework. Saber Core. Selector is my jQuery replacement that I built. It's like 5 kilobytes when you gzip, compress it, and minify it, and uglify it. It's like 5K. And it does a lot of the same stuff that jQuery does. I'd say like 90%. I'd say like 75% of what jQuery does. It doesn't support plugins, but it does all the typical selector type stuff that you would expect. And I use that in all of my projects. I don't want to use jQuery. Core, that's my MVC framework. You can find the NuGet package for it. Yeah, there's the NuGet package, datasilk.core.mvc. Anyway, go check out that sponsor Datasilk if you please. And yeah. What else? I'm gonna go eat. I haven't eaten at all today. It's 4th of July. I should probably go outside, ride my bike or something. I'm gonna go downtown to downtown Austin and ride my bike and see what's up. And I'm gonna hang out there for the rest of the day. Just chill out downtown, eat some food. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna start streaming more often, like maybe on a daily basis after work, because I do have a full-time job and I do have a night job that I should be finishing up here soon, but I'll try my best to start streaming. I really want you guys to see what I'm working on. I really want Saber to get out there. I want people to start using it. Anyway, have a good night, guys. Enjoy your 4th of July, and until next time.